Who are you in the silence? Not the version of you that performs for the world, not the one that hides behind masks of validation and applause. Who are you when there's no audience, no distractions, nothing to drown out the echo of your own thoughts? If that question sends a chill down your spine, it's because you know the truth. You've been avoiding the silence, avoiding yourself. Here's the brutal reality. The person you've been running from isn't out there. It's in here. And until you confront them, until you stop running, you'll never be free. This is the path to true power, true clarity, and true freedom. But it begins in the one place most people are too terrified to enter: solitude. Will you take the first step, or will you let fear define you? Section 1. The prison of noise. We live in a world addicted to noise. Social media, constant notifications, endless entertainment. It's all designed to keep us from being alone with our thoughts, and it works. Most people can't sit still for 5 minutes without reaching for their phone, their escape, their drug. Why? Because silence demands answers. In the silence, there are no distractions, no filters, no excuses. Just you and your truth. And for most people, that truth is unbearable. The dreams they've abandoned, the lies they've told themselves, the person they've become. Noise is their escape. But here's the cost. Every time you avoid the silence, you're giving up a piece of yourself. Ask yourself, how much of your life is yours? Your choices, your actions, your identity. Are they truly yours? Or are they dictated by the expectations of others? Solitude is the only way to find out. And that's why it's so terrifying. But let's dive deeper into what this addiction to noise really costs you. It's not just about distraction, it's about control. Every time you reach for the noise, you're giving someone else control over your time, your focus, and ultimately, your life. Who benefits from your addiction? Advertisers, tech companies, social platforms. They're feeding on your fear of being alone, monetizing your avoidance of yourself. It's time to take that control back. Section 2. The myths about solitude. Let's debunk the biggest myth about solitude, that it's lonely. Loneliness and solitude are not the same. Loneliness is the pain of being disconnected from others. Solitude is the power of being connected to yourself. It's not isolation, it's introspection. It's not weakness, it's strength. Think about the greatest minds in history. Einstein, Newton, Da Vinci, Beethoven. They all had one thing in common. They embraced solitude. They understood that true creativity, true innovation, comes from within. It doesn't come from the noise of the world. It comes from the silence of your mind. Even spiritual leaders, Jesus, Buddha, Muhammad, sought solitude to find clarity and purpose. They didn't fear the silence, they used it. Solitude isn't a punishment, it's a privilege. The privilege of discovering who you really are. But society has conditioned you to see solitude as a flaw. From an early age, you're told to follow the crowd, to fit in, to be social. Solitude is painted as something for misfits and outcasts. This narrative is not just wrong, it's dangerous. It keeps you tethered to the group, afraid to stand on your own, afraid to think for yourself. True strength doesn't come from the crowd, it comes from within. Section 3. The cost of avoiding yourself. Avoiding solitude isn't harmless, it's a slow death. Every time you distract yourself, every time you run from your thoughts, you're chipping away at your authenticity. The first casualty is your identity. Without solitude, you're not living as yourself. You're living as a reflection of others' expectations. The second casualty is your purpose. How can you know what you want if you've never taken the time to ask? Purpose isn't something you find in the noise of the world. It's something you uncover in the silence of your soul. And then there's the emotional toll. When you avoid solitude, you're avoiding yourself. And that creates a void that no amount of distractions can fill. You'll feel it in the quiet moments, the emptiness, the dissatisfaction, the regret. Avoiding solitude doesn't protect you from pain. It guarantees it. But the cost doesn't stop there. Avoiding solitude also makes you vulnerable. When you depend on others for validation, you give them power over you. They can manipulate you, control you, dictate your choices. Solitude is your shield. It's the armor that makes you unshakable, untouchable, unstoppable. Section 4. The brutal power of solitude. Solitude is brutal. It doesn't sugarcoat the truth. It doesn't give you easy answers. It forces you to confront your fears, your failures, your flaws. But that's exactly what makes it so powerful. In solitude, there's no one to blame, no one to impress, no one to hide behind. It's just you and your truth. And here's the thing about truth. It hurts before it heals. Solitude will break you. It will strip away everything false, everything fragile, everything weak. But in that breaking, it will also rebuild you, stronger, wiser, free. This is why the greatest thinkers, the greatest leaders, the greatest creators all embrace solitude. It's not a retreat, it's a forge. The forge where you become the person you were meant to be. Let's take this further. Solitude is also a mirror. It reflects back everything you've been avoiding. Your insecurities, your regrets, your untapped potential. It shows you not just who you are, but who you could be. And that vision, that glimpse of your true self, is what drives transformation. Section 5. How to master solitude. Mastering solitude isn't easy. It's a skill, and like any skill, it requires practice. Here's how you start. Start small. Begin with 5 minutes a day. Sit in silence. No phone, no distractions. Just sit. It will feel uncomfortable at first. That's a good sign. It means you're growing. Create a ritual. Make solitude a part of your daily routine. Morning meditations, evening reflections, walks in nature. These rituals will anchor you in yourself. Write it down. Journaling is one of the most powerful tools for mastering solitude. Write down your thoughts, your fears, your dreams. Let the words flow. Don't judge. Just write. Embrace the discomfort. Solitude isn't supposed to be easy. It's supposed to challenge you. Lean into the discomfort. It's where the growth happens. Ask the hard questions. Who am I? What do I want? What am I afraid of? These questions are your compass. Answer them honestly. Cut the noise. Limit your exposure to distractions. Turn off notifications. Take breaks from social media. Create boundaries with technology. The less noise in your life, the clearer your mind becomes. Face your demons. Use solitude to confront your fears. Failure, rejection, regret. These fears lose their power when you face them head on. Find strength in stillness. Solitude isn't about doing nothing. It's about doing the inner work. It's about building a fortress of resilience and clarity within yourself. Learn from history's giants. Read the works of those who embrace solitude. From the Stoics to modern thinkers, learn how they use silence as a tool for transformation. Build a life rooted in solitude. Let solitude shape your decisions, your goals, and your values. When your life is rooted in clarity, it becomes unshakable. Section 6. The freedom of solitude. Here's the paradox. Solitude doesn't isolate you. It liberates you. It doesn't make you weaker. It makes you unbreakable. When you master solitude, you master yourself. And when you master yourself, you can face anything. Clarity. In the silence, the chaos of the world fades away. What remains is truth. Your truth. Solitude gives you the clarity to see who you are, what you want, and where you're going. Strength. Solitude doesn't weaken you. It fortifies you. It teaches you to stand on your own, to trust yourself, to face life with courage and confidence. Purpose. Solitude isn't just about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself. It's about uncovering your purpose and living it with conviction. Freedom. When you no longer fear solitude, you no longer fear anything. You're free to live life on your terms without the need for approval, validation, or permission. Creativity. Unleashed. Without the constant noise of external influences, your mind becomes a fertile ground for innovation. Some of the greatest ideas in history, Newton's laws, Beethoven's symphonies, were born in solitude. Authenticity restored. Solitude gives you the space to reconnect with your true self, untainted by the expectations of others. It's where you find the courage to be unapologetically you. Inner peace. In the silence, you find a calm that no external chaos can disturb. Solitude isn't just a practice. It's a sanctuary. A place where you can retreat, recharge, and rediscover your strength. Conclusion. A challenge for the brave. Most people will hear this and return to their distractions. They'll go back to the noise, the comfort, the mediocrity. But you've made it this far. So here's your challenge. Stop running. Stop hiding. Face the silence. Step into the void. Discover who you are without the masks, without the applause, without the lies. The journey won't be easy, it won't be comfortable, but it will be worth it. Because on the other side of solitude lies the life you've always wanted, a life of authenticity, strength, and freedom. So take the first step. Turn off the noise, sit in the silence, and meet the person you've been avoiding. They're waiting for you, and they are stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you could ever imagine. Your journey begins now. The question is, are you ready to walk the path?